So with that definition of spiritual warfare, how would angels fit into that world? So what's their role in that?
Everything I write, including my fiction, providence is a big theme, because we tend to erroneously think that God is only in the spectacular. God isn't working unless something crazy happens or unless I notice it. No, actually, God is working all the time. And so are his agents. So as God uses people to influence other people, God uses believers to interact with us and even unbelievers to steer us in directions, to get us to make decisions, to force, internal conflict, to help us grow and help us accomplish things. It's the same picture with, God's unseen agents as well. We have Hebrews 13 about angels being entertained and you don't even know you're doing it. When they show up in the Bible, most of the time, nobody knows who they are. Sometimes they'll do something that a human can't do, and then it's like the lights go on. Okay, yeah. This is a normal guy. Okay, we don't really strike the city blind. This is something different. They get a clue, but the assistance I think that they render, just like happens in our everyday lives with other people, is something that God uses providentially without being spectacular or even noticeable. What I mean by that, to further unpack it, is I like movies like It's a Wonderful Life, despite the angels getting their wings. I like Signs, the science fiction movie Signs, for this reason, because when you get to the end of it, you look back on it and everything mattered. Everything that happens mattered. It actually led to the end point, to the climax of the story, because that's really how life is. If I'd have made the left turn instead of the right, if I'd have gotten up at 8:30 instead of 8, if I'd have taken this job or that one, and if I'd have married this person or that one, all these different possible outcomes. And we can look back in our lives, and if we're thoughtful enough, we can see that, well, I made this decision because. And another whole concatenation of events that involve people, that involve decisions that we had to make in response to being engaged by and engaging with other intelligent beings like people. And my view is that some of those people might be angels. Some of the reasons we do things might be prompted by a supernatural impetus that we can't even discern. We might suspect, but we can't really discern. I've had a few of those. I mean, again, never claim that I actually had an angelic encounter or anything like that. But I have had certain things happen that, as I've really thought about them, that's really on the table. In other words, there were just things that I know nobody else did this for me, and I certainly didn't do it for myself either. But yet, this was the circumstance, and there it was. And I don't have any explanation for why I was led to this point, and we could really only make one decision. But supernatural influences are on the table for me. So I think it kind of works both ways.